Fools on parade.
Oh, right out the jump.
Now, we always got plenty of fools, but I gotta say, this is my first story that came up. You can't really read that there from where you're sitting, but I saw this headline that said, Mississippi woman kills escaped monkey. Nah, man, fuck that.
How'd she kill it?
I don't even want to know the rest of the story, man. I just saw the headline. I was like, that's a trap. Whoever wrote that headline, nah, man, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We're going to move on.
Look.
We're going to move on. I saw Kim Kardashian is out there talking about how the moon landing is 100% not real. She just definitely does not believe we landed on the moon.
She figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, God damn it. This same person thought it made sense to marry Kanye West.
Look how that goes.
Yeah, so why would we listen to any opinions that you have at this point? I mean, like, you have proven yourself to not be a very discerning individual. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You know, a person might say that she has made a lot of questionable decisions, but I think the one you pointed out is probably takes the cake.
Having children with Kanye West. You thought that was a good idea. Now you're telling me the moon landing didn't happen. I don't have any reason to listen to anything you ever say. That's all it is to it. Fool. And she wants to be a lawyer. I saw a story where it said that when she's going through and studying, she'll ask ChatGPT questions, to help her with her lawyer stuff, and it's always wrong. And it's like, well, see, you're the one who's supposed to, whatever. Fool. I saw this where your boy Jon Stewart, he was interviewing Kamala Harris, and she
missed that interview.
Yeah, she keeps pointing to the fact that she didn't have enough time in the campaign, and that was the biggest problem with trying to run the campaign and why she lost.
I heard her say that.
And so he had the nerve to say, no, I think you had too much time. Because like halfway through, her polling was better than it was at the end. That doesn't mean her own campaign said she was never ahead in the polls. Stop trying to have a hot take, Jon Stewart. Like, just because somebody said something, be like, no, it wasn't enough. Nope. She was never going to win. She was never going to win. And we talked about this on the show for a year leading into it. It was like, oh, goodness, this is not going to go well. And boom, here we are. Okay, so no. Fools. Every last one of them. This lady, I don't know who she is. Let me get my notes straight here. She was a Bravo star of some sort, which if that tells you anything. But she was doing an interview with somebody from one of the more famous podcasts. And she said, I'm like, we cannot lose our democracy to these effing dorks. And then you get to JD Vance, who is a failed drag queen. That's what she said. He is a failed drag queen. He wanted to be a drag queen. He couldn't do it. He wasn't fabulous enough. He'd be so much cooler if he'd just come out. Now I want you to think about what she just said. We're talking about JD Vance here. We're talking about all these problems in the world. And her stance is he'd be cooler if he was a drag queen. Like, that would fix all the problems you have. Like, do you see how you're looking at the world? Like, oh, the person's a drag queen? Oh, well, they're awesome. Right? Foolish. That's all I can say about that. What you think? Is that a foolish take? It's possible to be a drag queen and be an asshole. And if JD Vance were a drag queen, I would say that just proves my point.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of problems with that statement. Just in the, that I would take up, like, it's me being maybe I'm the dork, but like JD Vance has a lot of like policy.
Yeah. It has nothing
problems,
to do with how he lives
arguments
his life.
that I would make. It's like whether or not he's a drag queen or not. I'd never heard that story before. I didn't know he was.
I did not also know that he was a failed drag queen. That sounds a bit ridiculous.
How does one fail at being a drag queen?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're not fabulous enough. That's what she said. She said he wasn't fabulous enough. Fools. That's foolish. So I saw this story where Ukraine released some audio from their battles with Russia and whatnot, where Russian military was talking to their troops on the ground, and they tell them, look around. You're looking for a whole battalion of dead people, of dead Russians. When you find them, okay, then you're at the right place and you hang a left, okay? That's where you hang the left. And they're like, well, we don't see no dead bodies. Well, you ain't at the right spot because there's a bunch of them. They're everywhere. Man, like when it comes down to talking like that, y'all some fucking fools, man. You need to stop this. That means you're losing. That's bad business. Yeah. Imagine you're on the ground getting those instructions. Hey, do you see dead bodies everywhere? No, you ain't at the right spot. I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am at the right spot.
I'm at the exact right spot because I don't want to be at the spot where they killing everybody. Man, y'all out of y'all's damn minds. I need to stop that. Yeah. They need that's
Yeah.
I never imagined somebody like, do you see dead comrades all around you? No.
Didn't take a left.
Yeah. Some bullshit. All right. I saw where physicists came out and said that they pretty much have proven that we're not in a simulation. You know, people be talking about whether or not we're in a simulation. Yeah. And their proof was, and this is, you know, whatever, but their proof was if it were a simulation, it would have to be algorithmic. You'd have to be able to understand it. You have to be able to put some math behind it. And since we can't combine our traditional physics with quantum physics, you know, we don't have a unifying theory, then it's not algorithmic. It's clearly not algorithmic. So therefore, it can't be a simulation. These are scientists, Nate, that are basically saying because we don't know something, it can't be known. Well, if that was the fucking case, then we wouldn't know shit, would we? Because everything you've discovered wasn't known before, right?
Right.
So because we haven't discovered a unifying theory, then there must not be one. Well, there you go. So the people who would create a simulation that we would exist in couldn't have algorithms that we don't understand. Right. That's impossible, right?
It seems that instead of disproving it, it seems like they may have taken a step towards proving it.
The only thing you've proven is that you're a horrible scientist at that point. That's bad science. I'm not even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm amateur as it gets when it comes to this stuff, but I can tell you right now, that is not the way to think about it. Like, well, if we don't understand it, it can't be understood. Man, what the hell? You fools. Highly educated fools, by the way. So we're Dax Shepard, husband to actress Kristen Bell, podcaster and comedian himself. He made the news. He was, you know, they for whatever reason, they love to go out and talk about how they raise their kids, which I'm just going to say is bad. No, don't do that because everybody going to criticize you. So here we go. I mean, you know, my bad. But this dude was talking about how like, he was at a restaurant and a friend of his remarked on the fact that his daughters openly talk back to him and disrespect him to his face.
Can't have that.
Nah, he said that's his parenting. See, his strategy is, when they get older, like 19, and they have some job and some sleazy boss is like trying to treat them a certain way, they're not going to put up with it. You know, he trained them not to put up with that stuff. It's not like people in the South who, you know, teach their kids to be, you know, polite and respectful. No. He's not going to teach his kids that because it's going to serve them well not to do that. Now, I just want to point out here, you can't say not parenting is parenting because that's essentially what he's saying. You know what I mean? You can't point to not. If I'm sitting at home with my son, I can't tell you this is my version of taking him to baseball practice, right? No, this is exactly me not taking him to baseball practice. That's not how the fuck it works, man. That's not how it works. I've never seen, you know, this is that Hollywood junk, man. I've never seen these celebrity kids who grow up with famous parents being like, well, it was great because my parents let me disrespect them to their face all the time and it just made me an amazing person. No, I'm sorry. Again, raise your kids however you want. Yeah, you be you. But if I was giving you some advice, I don't think that's the way to go.
Not the way I would do it.
You know, and he said this is how liberal Hollywood it gets. He said that he lets them cuss and use profanity around the house and stuff as long as they use it right. And he teaches them that they're just sounds coming out of your mouth that you ascribe meaning to. And get the fuck are you? This is what's wrong with the world right now. Like when we complain about the way people act and how folks are just out there just, you know, acting a fool and doing anything. Because they got raised like that. These are sounds coming out of your mouth that you ascribe meaning to. Language, man, is talking.
It's words.
Yeah, like
call it words.
You can call it words. Why you act like, oh, I'm on some other level stuff. Man, you've been reading the scripts, dog. Okay? Like, stop. Like,
you know what words are.
You up there in the clouds. Up there in the clouds on your thinking. See your boy Donald Trump.
My boy.
You know, he's going after Joe Biden about all these the pardons, claiming, you know, the auto pen, Biden didn't know who he was pardoning and all this other bull. So he's doing an interview and they ask him about pardoning some dude that was convicted on some crypto junk who his kids are in league with. And he says, well, I don't even know who that dude. I don't really know nothing about the dude. But he pardoned him.
All right. I saw that article.
God damn it. You hypocritical fool. How many times is Trump going to accuse people of something that he himself is more guilty of and just walks out there and says, like, I don't know this dude, but my kids are into crypto and apparently, you know, it's good business. Like, man, you know exactly. It's money. You mean tell me you don't know about that money? You know about that money. That's why you pardon. I mean, I don't have to call Trump. It goes
back to what we always say about it, though, where it's like Trump just says anything and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And I don't have to call Trump a fool. We know he's a fool, but damn, man, like it's just another reminder. And so last but not least on my list of fools, man, they changed the time again. And I gotta say, the fools I want to call out is these young fools who don't understand this junk. It don't affect them. Because it didn't affect me when I was young. I didn't care. Everybody's complaining like, why are we changing clocks all the time? I'm like, y'all sound like some old bastards. Man, there's something about it, man. There's something about it. You wake up the next day, you're like, man, I don't feel right. Next day, you're like, man, I am jacked up. Next day, you're like, I feel like I'm dying, man. Why did y'all do this? Doesn't this defeat the purpose of time itself? The reason we created this thing, this mechanism, was to give us predictability and schedules, you know what I mean? Where you feel like you're in a rhythm.
But what's most upsetting to me is finding out that like a lot of the world doesn't do it.
Yeah. They're smarter than us,
Right.
man. They know better,
Right.
man. Why would you do it? It's bad business, right?
Yeah. I think.
Does it affect you?
Oh yeah. I think there's places in the United States that don't do it.
I don't know about that.
We'd have to look it up. But man,
I think there's definitely places that don't want to do it, for sure. But I feel it now. Like
Yeah.
as I get older, I'm like, this is some bullshit, man. Y'all need to
and
stop
this is
doing
supposed to be the easy, fall back, gain an hour of sleep and all that. This is
Yeah,
supposed
you
to be
enjoy
the-
it because
yeah.
you're like, oh, I got an extra hour of sleep. But
Yeah.
then for the next 3 days, you're like, why is everything out of whack?
Why am I awake at 5 o'clock every day?
Yeah, does it messes
Yeah,
with you,
absolutely.
right? It didn't used to mess with me.
No, I wake up at the same time. All that. Yeah.
And I'd listen to older people who were like, this is bullshit. And I'm like, man, there's bigger problems in the world. Now I'm like, man, they need to stop messing with time. If there's anything not to do, don't mess with time. I ain't
Right.
trying to be a time traveler at 2 a.m. I
Mhm.
suddenly went back to 1 a.m. What kind of bullshit are we doing, man? Stop playing games. Stop playing games. Time is about predictability. And when you change it, that is unpredictable no matter how far ahead you schedule it, no matter how many times you do it. It's bullshit. That's our fools.